Hey everybody, it's Micah with Membarium, and I have with us today Bryce from PlusThis. He is the head of PlusThis. We were just talking about what that title would be, but it's kind of in flux. But Bryce has been the guy. Dave founded the company, Dave Lee, but Bryce has been the guy for how long now, Bryce?
About 7.5 years or so. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I love Dave, but he's he's not really relevant anymore. It sounds like, in the market. You're the one who goes to the events and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, you and I have been friends for about that long. So tell me, first of all, or not tell me, but for people who don't know PlusThis, I'm assuming most people listening to this will. How do you describe it? How do you introduce it? What is PlusThis?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. Good way to start it off too. Plus this really is a marketplace of tools, I guess, like a library or of like apps and integrations for Keep and other like small business marketing CRMs like ActiveCampaign, Drip, HubSpot, Entreport. I think that's pretty much all the ones that we do. But yeah, so they'll include things that we've made ourselves, like a video trigger or a countdown timer or a smart link where it's doing some really unique things to the marketing CRM to allow you to do more clever automation and tactics for getting more sales and things like that. Or we also can create some really deep integrations where the users in the place have requested them for popular tools like Zoom or their calendar booking tools like Calendly or Acuity or Google Sheets and things like that. So it's kind of a blend, I would say, of like a thing like a Zapier, where it's mostly just those integrations combined with a mad scientist creating their own tools for those marketing CRMs that need those kinds of things filled in.
Yeah, it's kind of like whatever people needed over the last decade type of thing, huh?
Yeah, it's true.
So I know you guys work with a lot of influencers, membership site owners, course creators, but in coming into this, I was also kind of thinking about the lessons people could take from a membership perspective from you guys running your own membership, because people are subscribing to PlusThis, right? They're paying monthly or annual. So let's think of some lessons that can cross over from that into memberships. First of all, how do you acquire customers? Is it free trial, webinars, events? What's the real way to get customers for you guys?
Yeah, so we do a free trial. We've experimented with a lot of different versions of that acquisition. So we've done credit card required free trials the old school way. We've recently also done no credit card required, just get people in the door, prove that the tool is helpful, and then get them to put in a credit card later for that kind of thing. And usually we have a trial tied to either one of those kinds of things too. So we'll give them free access to all the tools for 14 or 30 days. We've experimented with all of that too. So yeah, it's been a journey of just trying what works best when it comes to acquisition as far as the model. And then on top of the model, it's like, how do you get people to actually learn about you and join your program or your membership? And what we found is we kind of get a little bit from everywhere. So we have ads that, well, we could start with the traditional stuff, like you have your lead magnet that every one of these marketing CRMs teaches you to do. So 7.5 years ago, that was kind of step one that I came into, was like, how do we get people in? And we have this credit card required piece of it. So we need to get people some value to be like, okay, I'm willing to put in a credit card before I even see what you guys do. So we created a lead magnet. We still have it running today. It's called Campaigns to the Titans, and we've updated that every couple of years. Membarium's been in there as well. You guys were some of the OG ones in that first one too. And so we get a lot of new trials from people learning about how the tool has helped other users like Membarium users or Frank Kearns or Grant Cardone's and Dave Ramsey's and a lot of those other people. And we'll run ads to that to get more traffic that way. We have partners and affiliates that help spread it as well in the space, and that's been super helpful. And then we have a lot of organic stuff just from creating more content out there that are centered around specific solutions that we do too. And then just always trying to keep it interesting by keeping our email list fresh and giving them interesting, cool things to learn about. Like a campaign I'm working on right now is PlusThis Madness. So kind of with like the March Madness theme, we are putting all of our tools against each other in an ultimate bracket to see who is the best tool in that bracket. So a little bit later this month, we'll have people voting on which matchups they think is best, countdown timer versus SmartLink, and then sharing like why they think one should move on and the other should lose, and we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, just always trying to be creative, run webinars, do things like this to keep it fresh and keep new people trying out the stuff.
Awesome, man. I think that a membership site owner watching this, they might think, well, yeah, you can give away free trial because you're a software, and once people get hooked. But there's a lot of other stuff that you're saying, and I think a membership site can use a free trial as well. But especially what you're talking about, keeping it fresh, that's something that software companies have a hard time to do, right? Because we create this feature set and then it's the same feature set next year. We might add some, but largely it's the same. And so keeping that fresh, I think people with a lot of content, people with a membership site who are trying to keep engagement could learn from that, right? Which of these lessons was most helpful? Put them in a bracket like Bryce is doing with his features. I think that's a genius idea. Also, your campaigns of the Titans thing, it's so cool that you're still doing that. And that's a lesson right there, just that, hey, it works. Keep doing it, update it, refresh it, sure, but just keep doing it. And the concept there for people who aren't familiar with it, membership site owners or prospective membership site owners watching this, is that they are looking at very successful campaigns. So whatever subject matter you're teaching, you could say, hey, here's so and so who was successful at it, right? The same concept of a testimonial or a case study, but then turning it into a lead magnet of here's the plan of the most successful seamstress or whatever it happens to be. So a lot of things to pull from there. I'll ask a follow-up to it. What are some of the better acquisition, from that campaigns of the Titans? What are ways that membership site and course owners have been successful in acquiring customers? Can you think of any?
Yeah, no, as you were talking about the trial thing, it made me think about it too, but we have a lot of users that are offering memberships or run that as a piece of their business. A lot of the people that we help are experts, so they'll have a model that is, cool, I do my one-on-one coaching, I have my group coaching, and then I have my membership, which is kind of like where I put everyone to help either get new people to become clients of mine, or keep the clients that I do have warm and engaged because they're getting value from my membership that I keep adding to, or putting in new content there as well. So for acquisition, when I'm on a demo with people that have a membership kind of program like this, we see a lot of times that they can offer like a little sample class of like what is a piece of what will be in their membership, like giving a really high value 1 hour training on whatever their expertise is in, offering that as their lead magnet. They're using, a lot of these people will use some PlusThis tools to help facilitate that, whether it's like running some ads to it or tracking who's watching that video with some video triggers, putting some kind of evergreen deadline on it too. So like you can offer, we've done this with campaigns of the Titans too. It's kind of funny, when you asked me to be on this podcast, it's like, oh, I'll have to think of how I can do stuff for membership stuff. But it's like we kind of made that, you're right, with the subscription we have to keep adding value or we lose those people too. So so when it came to like campaigns of the Titans, we almost did a membership approach for that too, because we have the PDF, but we also did a training directly with Keep as well on campaigns of the Titans itself, just that concept. And we covered like 3 of the campaigns in there. We recorded a quick video in partnership with them. We had some of their guys on there too. And then we put that recording up on a landing page. We offered that as a lead magnet. And we just kind of showed some of the cool things you'll get if you join PlusThis basically. And we've used that hand in hand with our PDF version too, and both are great performers. And it's weird because you're right, like it is one of those things that you kind of just can put it up there and just leave it there for a while, because we've had campaigns of the Titans going for the 7 years I've been around. We've done like 3 different volumes of it, so it's definitely been refreshed. But the video thing we kind of put up, we leave it up for a couple, like 6 months or so. We pause it for a little bit, then we bring it back a couple months later, and it works again. So it's like crazy. But yeah, that's a great way to get new members in if you're running a membership.
So it is interesting to me that, people who don't know PlusThis, when we say, oh, it fills in all the gaps, it does this and that, I should be more specific and say it does these interesting little things, like he just mentioned video triggers, where you can actually say, not just did they click the button saying they watched the video, or did they reach the end of the video, but did they reach like 2 minutes into the video? Did they see this important concept? Because if so, that's different than if they didn't see it. And the same thing for webinars, and you guys do the text follow-up and all the little kind of nuanced things. I feel that take something that can just be as cold as a laptop, and content and annoying, and try to make it a little bit more accessible and easy and human, because some of your other technologies have been about customizing messages, with graphics. And so I just feel like you guys are more nuanced than most at understanding conversion, because people are coming to you saying, we already use Keep, we already understand automation, direct response, and all these things. We just want to do this one extra little thing. Can you help us with this and that? And enough small magic touches, each adding a couple percentage points to the conversion. For those people, it adds up. What would you say from your campaigns of the Titans? Is there like a favorite campaign that stands out, or one that you're just like, that one's the coolest? What comes to mind?
Yeah, no, I definitely have one, because I've used it almost in every campaign we do ourselves. And it's Frank Kern's like 4-day cash machine. It's just a really easy campaign that you can apply to almost anything. So the way it basically works is you offer any kind of lead magnet. It could be a PDF, it could be a video training, it could be a webinar. And the important thing is, when you get someone in, if you track this kind of stuff, you realize that about 50% of the people who download like your PDF never even use it or open it. And so it's really, really important to get people to start using that stuff quickly, and then also give them an incentive to take the next step with you as well. So you always offer some good free value up front, but all of us are in business, and all of us have some kind of offer that we're ultimately trying to get our leads to take, right? And so the way that Frank Kern does it with his 4-day cash machine, and I mean, this is something everyone uses too, not just Frank Kern, but essentially he gives them a lot of good value up front. You get some really awesome training. You never have to pay him for anything. You still make a lot of money off of just what he teaches you, just like any expert really. But the way that he gets you to kind of join his memberships, or like start the next program that he's offering, is he gives you some kind of deadline that is usually pretty soon into you downloading his training or watching the video that he put up there. And so the way he does it, so that he doesn't have to do these every week and start a new launch constantly and just drive himself crazy, is he puts in evergreen expiring offers for this. So he would use PlusThis to go, cool, when Micah watches my training or comes in to do it, downloads it, opts in, I'm going to use PlusThis to put something on his contact record that tells me his deadline for his offer is 7 days from that date when he opted in. So it's going to be April 1st or whatever. And now when you're getting emails and it's getting closer to April 1st, you're saying, hey, Micah, thanks for downloading my video training. Hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot. I have a lot more of this kind of stuff in my membership program. And because you checked this out, I want to give you 25% off if you sign up by Monday, April 1st. And so you're getting relevant content. You're getting a deadline that is kind of urgent enough that it's worth the offer. It's an irresistible offer he's giving you. Um, and then he'll use PlusThis to make it so that link that you're clicking to join it is a smart link. And so if Micah does it before April 1st, he sees the offer page with the cool bonuses, the better deal, whatever else he's given, and he can accept it. But if he waits until April 2nd or 6 months later, like we see with a lot of people, and they still click on your old emails, they just see your normal offer page or whatever, and it's genuine. So that way they don't go, okay, every time Frank sends an offer, I can just game it and I can just save it for later and I can do it whenever I want. You can't get that great of a deal unless you do it when that offer is live. So that's really a strategy that we use all the time. So for example, with this next campaign I'm working on right now, we're going to run this competition, the madness thing, for a couple weeks here, and anyone that signs up for a trial during that period, we'll give them some kind of bonuses or discount. And once that's over, those links will just go to our normal free trial sign up page. So hopefully it's a great way to get people to go, okay, I've been looking at your stuff for a while. It's had some cool things that I'm interested in. I just needed some kind of like motivation to try it. It's cool. I'm learning about all these top tools now. I'm ready to do it. Let's go. And that's like the thing that can motivate someone to just push the button to actually become a customer. So that's probably one of the campaigns of the Titans that I've usually gotten a lot out of, and I love to share with other people too.
Yeah, slam dunk answer there, Bryce, because I remember the first time I heard about the campaigns of the Titans, one of my business partners was like, oh yeah, we're gonna, or not the campaigns of the Titans, the 4-day cash machines. Like, we're gonna do a 4-day cash machine. I'm like, a what now? And explained, I'm like, okay, I get it logistically. And then we did it, and I was like, wow, that was an easy way to make money. And then ever since, it's pretty much always the same. So for anybody with a membership site listening to this, yeah, go get and we'll tell you where to get in a minute, where you can check under this video if you're on our page, but get the campaigns of the Titans, check out the 4-day cash machine, because that thing is money. Literally, it's whatever you're doing. If you haven't done one of those, that's a great way to do it. And it's not, I'm not guaranteeing you it'll work, but it's of the things like it I've ever tried, it's probably the most consistent thing I've ever really encountered.
Yeah, no, same here. I've done lazy campaigns where I'm like, oh, I'm not going to like worry about trying to make an offer that has an expiration date, or it's tied to when they actually like are interested in your stuff because they just opted in and they're learning it right now. And we definitely haven't had as much success as when we take the time to put it, and it doesn't take a lot of time either. It's like put an hour into adding these tools to make it evergreen, and now we can run ads to it for a year and I never touch it, and it just converts more of that customer. So yeah.
Well, I think we should keep it short and sweet and end with that tip because it is so good. Where do people get the campaigns of the Titans, Bryce?
You can just go to campaignsofthetitans.com and download it there. We always keep the latest versions up there. And right now we have all 3 volumes packaged together. So you'll get, I think there's 1,000+ pages of campaign walkthroughs. You don't have to read the whole thing. You can skip to the ones that you want to do. There's a big old table of contents. Micah's in there. Frank Kern's in there. Greg Jenkins is in there. Tyler Garnes is in there. All these guys that you probably heard about if you've been in space for a while too.
Man, that is awesome. And let's talk a little bit more about PlusThis, because we've referred to it a little bit, but I do want to say, especially when talking about this 4-day cash machine, that's a perfect example of why somebody needs PlusThis, to save a specific date, time in a custom field, and then to use that to run a clock for an expiring offer. And like you said, you can do promotions the lazy way and just kind of promote it thinking, oh, well, it's a good offer and people like me. But when you do it right with the correct offer, the scarcity, and you, like you said, make it genuine where it actually does disappear, then you're making money today and you're creating goodwill and trust with your list for the future when you want to run another one of these things. Bryce, thanks again for joining us, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, no, this is great. If anyone has any questions or needs anything, I'm always available. We have a PlusThis Facebook group if people want to join that. You can email me, bryce@plusthis.com. We do demos and implementation calls too. So if you're just curious about PlusThis, happy to just walk through it one-on-one with you too.
Yeah, and as you guys can tell, they are good guys. It's a good business and a really cool tool just because it actually helps you make conversions. I feel like tools like you have are so easy because they make people money. So if it's kind of a no-brainer, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure.
All right, man. Well, thanks again.